Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. Well, this video is going to be all over the place today, but this weekend I've been trying to run on my off-grid. So I have one negative review about this SunGold LFP series inverter. And that is that I can turn it to off on the charge setting. I'm trying to get there where y'all can see that. I've got it pointed at 0, which is charger off. It still charges when it switches back to the grid, but it just does a normal charge. If you put it on charge by the type battery you have, it does a fast charge. So, sorry, I'm bleeding in a couple spots. Let's see. From the last project I was doing. But anyway, that's my first negative. I've got the grid power feeding into it now. And of course, my output feeding my panel box. So I've been able to run off of it all weekend. And I ran 14 hours off my batteries and they were fully charged before it went back to the grid, which was really good. But I know I need more batteries. So on to the next project. So the next project was Sparky's cable. It done got to where it's sagging a little bit, and that's normal. They stretch a little, the tree gives, the pole gives. Stop. But I've got it on a ratchet strap on that telephone pole, and I usually can go over there and tighten the ratchet strap a little bit. But what had happened is the loop I put in the cable for the ratchet strap to hook to and pull on had slid. And it was not hanging as high as I'd like it to. And right now, I think it's as high as I've ever had it. I can barely reach it from the back of the truck. And I got to stand on the edge of the truck at that. But so as it gets slack, you know, he pulls so much, he can pull all the way up past the edge of the house. So I got the long extension ladder, which is 34 feet extended, but I didn't extend it. I just used the long ladder and put it up against the pole and took it completely loose and brought it down and redid my loop to attach to a little bit further away than it was because I had it pulled all the way up to the pole, and tightened it all down good, and then reattached him, because if I leave him attached, he'll kill me when I'm on top of that trailer. He'll snatch and pull me down and all that good stuff. So anyway, that took a little while, but I got that done. And my mower acted up last time I used it. If it's windy, y'all, I'm using the microphone, and it's got the little foam cover that's supposed to help with that. But, you know, I've got it down at my belly, so I'm not so overpowering on the microphone. But the mower, the blades belt or something came loose last time. So I saw a spring laying on the deck, and I'll get up closer and show y'all. So right here, and where that spring attaches is the arm to that pulley that tightens the belt. It wore completely through the steel on that arm. It didn't break, it just wore it completely through about a 1/4 inch. So I went in there, and that steel I've been making my little pea shooter frame with, cut me a piece of steel about 5/16 by 1 inch, just to bridge across where it wore through. And I got my welder out and got all set up and ground it down to pure metal because it was, you know, orange. And got it out here with my welder and welded it and got it put back on. I had to take both covers off both ends. Both these belts had come loose because the tensioner, of course, had let go. So I had to take them loose and get them belts on and put the belt on over here. Once I got it all done, I've tested it. I cut for about 5 minutes with it. It's cutting really nice. The blades, you know, I changed them last year, and typically I get 2 years out of it. And I changed them toward the end of the year. So the blades still look fantastic. So there's no need for me to worry about that. So I really need to get my grease gun out and start greasing all the fittings and stuff. But I was trying to get other projects done. Got the backhoe out. And this back tire leaks, and it leaks around the edge of the rim, which is more than my ability. I mean, if I had the right tools, I could break it loose, clean up the edge of the rim and the tire and, you know, get it back to where to seal. But that's more than I can do. So I just basically I try to keep air in it. Well, this thing was completely flat. It had not come off the rim yet, thank goodness. I've had that happen. But I got it pumped back up. They're rated for a max of 30 psi. I put around 20 in them because they're not brand new tires. They're not old, but they're not brand new. So the front ones are rated for, I think, 50. I put 30 in them, and they're fine. I put some of that green slime in this tire, and I have to add air once a year maybe. But that one I didn't even have to add any air to today. Both these two have leaked since I bought the tractor. But that back one still leaks, even with slime in it. So I just try to keep it pumped up. So I got that done. I got the lawnmower fixed. I got Sparky's cable fixed. And I've got one more project that I want to do. And I'll go up here and show y'all. I'm thinking about just cutting grass. I have not cut it. The weeds are tall. If I cut the weeds down, the grass will turn green a little bit faster. We've got some nice weather for the next week or two, so, but we'll show y'all what I'm planning on here. What I do with them. There they are. So these are the fuse links I'm using, and it's got a 500 amp fuse in it. But you see the wire goes in, and it's just a lug that tightens on it. And I really don't like that connection because it's just spreading through the wire, and you don't get the best connection. Okay, I mean, it works. It's done well. The system has worked better since I put the second double aught wire in line with the fuse and ran 2 wires instead of 1. I have to admit, I can't remember his name, but one of the guys that commented on one of my videos, he told me to do that. It helped. I can see a difference in my system. But I ordered new fuse links, and these don't have that set screw. You put a ring terminal on the end like you would on the batteries, or like I've done on everywhere else, and it screws to this, and then it screws to here, and you bolt it down, and you get a nice tight fit. There is no set screw that's, you know, spreading the wires while you're trying to tighten. And if y'all can see, I've got this thing set on amperage. It's bouncing from 10.3 down to 9 something, depending on the sun. This one always reads a little bit lower, but it's 5.1. Now, the reason I'm showing y'all that, I've got 10 panels up there, 4 charge controllers. So you would think I did 3, 6, 9, and 1 on the last panel. I did not. I went 2 on 1 charge controller, which is that 140 watt panel and a 100 watt panel. This is the one that is giving me the most power, 240 watts. And then I went 2 100 watt panels on the next one, say here. And then I went 200 watt panels on the next one, say here. And that's 7. And then I went 300 watt panels on another one. So I've got 2 charge controllers. If I put my meter on it, I'm getting around 10 amps in full sunlight from those 2 panels. And then I'm getting about 6 amps on the other 2 in full sunlight. And I actually was thinking of getting on the roof today and washing the panels. But guys, and I'm not using an excuse, but since I had that stroke, my equilibrium's not as good as it used to be. And that freaking long ladder is heavy. I could probably use my short one to get up there. But it's a job to get up on that roof and wash these panels. And I usually use like a car wash brush with the extension handle on it so I can reach a little further. I'm going to come out here and show y'all what I'm talking about. But I usually go up on the back corner and come up. And then I'll spray the panels on this side, start at the bottom. I put Dawn dish soap on my brush and I'll wash them panels and rinse them off, and then I'll do the top ones. So I'm not walking on the wet roof. I've tried that before. Walking on a wet metal roof is not safe. But you inevitably have some water on the other side that you're standing on, because your hose is going to drip or something. You know, he's going to clothesline me with that cable in a minute. But so anyway, they do need cleaning, but it's not going to happen today. So I've got my off-grid running. I've got my mower fixed. Got the backhoe tires pumped up. I've got the box blade on there. I really don't need it, but I'm thinking of, before I take it off, go ahead and drag the whole wooded area back there. Try to clean it up a little bit before I take that box blade off. And then I can put the backhoe back on, the backhoe attachment. But anywho, I've still got to clean up my mess from rebuilding the pump house over there. So too many projects to do, but either way, I wanted to show y'all, everything you do may not seem like prepping, but I'd heap rather try to fix my mower today, knowing if I gotta go buy a part or something. So look, my rooster's out of the pen. Y'all see this? Junior's out of the pen. I'll throw on some scratch and then see if I can get him to go back in there while they're distracted with the scratch. It's the only time anybody ever gets out is the rooster, and it's usually when another rooster's after him. So Tom probably ran him out of the pen. Let me throw them some feed in here. I see you. I see you, Junior. Let's see, I threw that over there. And I'm hoping, come on, Junior. Come on, Junior. Golly. Let me pause this, y'all. All right, guys, it only took a minute for me to try to grab him in that corner, but he ran from me. So I walked down here when they're all over at the scratch, opened up the door, and of course it closed on me. He got to the door and the door closed, so then he ran past it, and I opened up the door and pushed it far enough it stayed open, and just stepped back, and he let himself back in. So basically the only time my roosters get out is when there is another rooster that's, they're fighting and they're about to get their butt whooped. So apparently Tom has been showing dominance, and he chased Junior out of the pen. But that's okay. They're not going to go anywhere. I've had his daddy got out before, and I had a pile of stuff at the back of the building here just before the room was out here, and or this big, and he just roosted right there. And when Dark got here, I went over there, picked him up, put him back in the pen. So it's only happened like 2 or 3 times in several years, so it's not a often thing. But look, now they're mad at me because I didn't give them any scratch. Oh my goodness. Y'all think chickens are dumb, but they're really not. They won't scratch. If you give it to the rest of them, they want it too. And I guarantee you, I probably wouldn't get my 4 eggs tomorrow if I didn't give them some when I gave the other one some. I don't know that they can control their egg laying, but I believe they can, because if you threaten them, they'll lay. But anywho, so I've got a lot of little projects done that I need, that I needed to get done. The tractor's ready for me to use it again. The lawnmower's ready for me to use it again, because right now it's just the brown grass. There's a lot of green grass out here, as you can see. If you look over on that side of the chicken run, that side that I've recently cleaned up and cleared, it's not thick, but what's there is green. So the from here out into the garden area, it's starting to green up pretty good. My field on the other side of the house doesn't look green from here because I didn't cut it that last time that I should have last summer before it got cool. So there's a lot of dead taller grass there, but there's some weeds where the septic tank lines are that are already green. So anywho, I needed to get the mower going, got it done, got the tractor ready. Solar's working. Sparky's cable is redone, so it should last a while. I'm gonna have to change pulleys, of course, but for right now, he's got 2 pulleys that are, still on him. Still got more to do, so I'm thinking I may go ahead and do those ends so I can change out my fuse links. Because as long as I've got two and I only disconnect one, then it's not going to arc when I take it loose. I don't like that arc, y'all. I know it's part of it, but it's not going to arc when I take it loose and put it back together, as long as I leave one hooked up while I'm doing the other. So I'm thinking about doing that, because that's going to take me a little while. Because what I do is I'll crimp the ring terminal on the end, and then I'll get it on the back of the truck, and I'll use my torches and weld it, braze it in place so I've got really good contact. Then I let it cool, and I clean up the terminal, and then I put the black and red shrink wrap on each end, and then go in there and put it in place. So it'll take me a little while. I'm only going to do one at a time. So, but I've got to do one off each end. So that's 2 per line. That's 4 that I've got to do that way. So it may take me an hour or so. But anywho, I'm going to get off here, guys. You see, I'm pretty sure it was Tom that got him, because he's not going anywhere over close near to Tom. But either way, I'm working. What I was saying earlier, it may not feel like you're prepping when you're doing all these little chores, but you know, if I needed to go buy something to fix my mower, a belt or a pulley or whatever, I'm not going to be able to do that after crap hits the fan. So your normal maintenance to keep your stuff running is part of prepping. Now, that thing needs a bath. I may wash it, but you know, I'll probably do all of it at the same time. More than likely not right now. But when I get a chance, I'll get my grease gun together and all that, and get out there and grease it before I get into the season too far, and you know, try to get a little bit more done. I have found a what they call a tri-fuel carburetor for my generator here that'll make it run off of propane or gasoline, and I want to change that so I don't have a gasoline carburetor that'll gum up and cause problems. So that's probably going to be one of my next purchases. So I've got that to where it will run on propane, and what I can do is just put a splitter on the line right there at the corner of the house where the grill is, and connect the generator to it, you know, when I want to run the generator. Otherwise, I'll just use these little tanks and let it run off of them. I've got 3 there, had 5. So my son borrowed one, never brought it back, and then I don't know what happened to the other one. So either way, I'll probably be buying more of those when I can afford it. So that's all part of prepping, and I need to get this generator running too. So we'll see. Y'all just do what you can. Just keep your stuff going. If you know it needs some repair, do it before crap hits the fan, to where you've got access to the parts and the tools and stuff that you need, and be ready when it does, because it's coming. So anyway, I thank y'all for watching. Y'all remember what I always tell you: Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe and be prepared.